our closure, okay? Ah, Nemu. So it happens I have a letter for you. But before we talk about that, mind telling me what you've been getting yourself into lately? You and your scions, I mean. I have an inkling, perhaps. I went and saved another world, as it happens. Come again? Reflections of the Source? Parallel worlds? Sin Eaters? What in the seven hells are you on about? Something tells me this is only going to make any kind of sense if you walk me through it from the beginning, step by step. Right then. So, to sum it up, you were swept up into yet another realm-shaking conflict, were you? Well, of course you were. You've an insatiable hunger for it, don't you? And even when you bite off more than you can chew, you refuse to let go. What? As if you didn't know. Hells, from the moment I laid eyes on you, I suspected you were a particular blend of impulsive and stubborn. Takes a special kind of bastard to become a Dark Knight, much less a warrior of light, don't you think? You traveled onto a doomed world and pledged your sword to a futile cause. You fought and you fought and you fought. And in the end, you won the day. Though I know it wasn't without loss, without sacrifice. Victories like that are always fought with blood. But you and your comrades paid the price all the same. That faraway land and her people live on because you were all willing to fight to the bitter end. Because you were too stubborn to die. And because of love, I'm sure. Being grim and dark will only get you so far, don't you remember? It's like the Mughals. Like Sir Opanyi himself said. The flame in the abyss, the love you bear for the ones you hold most dear. That is the source of true strength. Nema could have never made it this far if her heart wasn't filled to the brim with love. Is this a roundabout way of asking me about my heart's desires? Let's not and say we did, eh? I'm sure that Thancred fellow you mentioned would provide a far more meaningful and interesting response. Having to look after the reincarnation of his surrogate daughter is certainly... Though I suppose, on some level, I can relate. Aww. What? Oh, Sid. I've not once thought of you as my father. Well, no. I mean, we're not even the same race, so of course no one would ever look at us and assume... Oh! What? If you want to put a label on it, then what would you prefer? Master and disciple? Manservant and noblewoman? Oh. Sid. How about Chocobo's ours and whatever you damn well like? Gods, you can be daft sometimes. I think she has a crush on you. I think. This is what I don't know, this is what I'm seeing. Oh. Hey, hey! What did I tell you about calling me that? Children, am I right? Best we give her a moment to cool her head. For now, let's talk about that letter I mentioned earlier. A letter? Oh. It's addressed to you. Who penned it, I cannot say. It was delivered to me by a young man of the Broom. Lunny, I believe her name was. I'm not sure. I was thinking it might be a letter from Harshafant. The one that he never... The one that was never delivered. Like, I remember reading it, that it got, like, flown away. It blew away into the sky, I think? She said she'd seen us with you out and about in Ishgard before, and reckoned that if she left it with us, you'd eventually be around to pick it up. Before you ask, no, I've not taken a peek, so its contents remain a complete and utter mystery to me. As for the sender, you'll have to pester Lunny at the Holy Stables if you want to know more. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have an angry girl to mollify. Okay. Nemu Okire, you'll forgive me for the sudden correspondence and the secrecy. You helped me, in a way, once upon a time. It's past time I said as much, and so here we are. Oh, okay, so it's not the letter I was expecting. Feels like a lifetime ago, come to think of it. You've been through quite a lot since then, accomplished incredible things. I'd like to think that, in some way, I was part of your journey. Far from the best, no doubt. But for me and my own journey, I think it's safe to say that you've been... well... there's no suitable words to describe it, really. I've done things, made decisions. Looking back, I can't help but feel more than a little foolish. But such is life. And we have to seize what few opportunities we have for closure. Even if it is through the written word, and not face to face. So wherever you are, I hope you're happy. Still fighting. Still adventuring. Still doing what you love. Be well. The letter bears no signature or any obvious clues as to the author's identity. Perhaps Lunny can shed light on this mystery. Oh, I feel bad. Am I supposed to know who this is? Because as far as I know, it's not the letter that Harshafant wanted to write to the Warrior of Light. Hey, Lunny. Can you tell me more about that letter? Nemo Okire, my hero! I never thought I'd get to see you again, much less speak with you. Oh, I'm sorry. You probably don't remember me at all, do you? Not surprised. All in a day's work, I suppose. Saving silly little fools like me. Oh, wait a minute! Aren't you the girl whose grandmother was like in trouble? Yes, you are. Okay. And it was so long ago when you rescued me from those temple knights who were trying to take me away from my grandmother. I still remember it like it was yesterday, though. You swinging in that great big sword of yours, bellowing all kinds of terrible threats and sending them running. I'm sure some might say you overdid it, but thanks to you, my grandmother and I never heard from that lot again. And ever since Sir Emmerich and his allies came into power, we've had a lot less of that trouble all over. But, let me guess. You didn't come all this way just to see me, did you? I have to ask about this letter. The letter, huh? I thought so. It wasn't me who wrote it, I can tell you that much. I got it from a knight I befriended after tending to his chocobo a couple of times. Sir Patronade. Oh. He said it was to be delivered to the hero of the Scions, a peerless warrior with 1,000 victories to her name. After he described your features in detail, it all fell into place. And since I was certain you'd eventually pay a visit to your friends, I offered to take it to them. Oh. Anyway, he's the one you need to talk to if you're after the sender. Maybe check the congregation? I mean, that's where the knights congregate. I presume? Alright, thank you. See you again. Where do I go? Oh, it's upstairs. I see. Hey! You! How may I be of service to you, Mistress Okiri? Oh! I remember you! Oh, you're the guy I saved in, when we were in Stormblood. When the whole, when the tower of Castra Mabania that collapsed. I think it was that. You were there! I didn't know your name before, but now I know. The letter. Oh, what a relief it is to see that it arrived unmolested. It was entrusted to me by Aurella of Rogger's Reach. After the battle at the Gimlet Dark, I spent a few nights there, you see. I can only assume that whoever sent it to the Reach had heard tell of the battle between you and Lord Xenos, and how you had been brought to the Barber. However, by the time it arrived, you had long since been spirited away to Ishgard. Had Lunny not recognized you from my stories, I do not know how I might have seen it to your hand. Aww. If you seek the author, mayhap you should pay a visit to the Reach? I know only what I told you, but surely Aurella can tell you more. May the Fury watch over you and keep you, friend. Thank you. Oh. Oh. Dude, no, I remember you. Oh. I remember you. I'll see you around, Patronad. Hey, Aurella. What's up? A pleasure to see you. Lost that long-haired boy of yours again. Nope. I'm asking about the letter. This is about the letter, is it? It came from a shipment of supplies from Little Alamigo, as I recall. Oh my god. I can only presume that the sender was hoping that Commander Hext would see it to you personally, but I'm not surprised it escaped her notice given the chaos at the Gimlet Dark and after. It found its way into my medical supplies, and as you all know, I decided to let that Ishgardian knight take charge of its delivery. In any event, I advise you to continue your search in Little Alamigo, and if anyone knows aught of the letter's author, it would be Gundobald. Okay. This letter's come a long way. Well met, Nemu. I was not expecting a visit. What brings you to the Southern Thanalan to this day? This letter, you say? You seek the author? If you read it, then you know their heart. What you meant to them, how you changed their life for the better. It is a feeling I understand all too well, which is why I agreed to send this letter with the supplies for Rogger's Reach. Yet you never were the one to let a mystery remain unsolved, were you? You seek answers, closure. I will not deny you of this. At the Red Rooster Stead in Lower Lanosia, you will find a man named Goatherd. Speak with him. Perhaps then you will find a measure of peace. Okay. Lower Lanosia. Oh gods, it's you! But why? Why are you here? You really don't remember? Any of it? The Chichiran bandits? A certain merchant who may have overstepped his bounds just a trifle? Are you the guy who was like... This was from the Dark Knight quest. That fucking merchant who was like, oh my god, he was such a little shit. Oh my god. Huh. You're a right bloody mess when you return to the dry docks with my wares. Yeah! And I do mean bloody, I say. Is none of what I'm telling you ringing a bell? Really? Not even the part where I refused to thank you and demanded that you pay me restitution for the property you yourself returned to me? Yes, I remember that. Well, seeing as I've already confessed it, I may as well reiterate. It was me. Oh. Oh, you wrote the letter? Oh. That was just the beginning of my bad luck, as it happens. A string of bad decisions left me in debt to some very unforgiving fellows. Before I knew it, they had taken damn near everything I owned. Oh. I was friendless, penniless, hopeless. And let me tell you, running afoul of the Warrior Light had not done me any favors either. There was a time when I couldn't help but blame you for all my misfortune. And then, one day, when I was rummaging through my meager possessions, I had an epiphany. I stumbled upon a package from that shipment you recovered for me that ill-fated day. Flower bulbs, stained with Chicheran blood, but viable for cultivation, still brimming with potential to grow and thrive. Oh, so he made this farm? Before I knew it, I was cradling the package to my breast, sobbing and moaning like a mad fool. For a fool is exactly what I had been. I had been offered a kindness without let or lien, and instead of thanking this generous hero and had spat in her face. Wow. So I left that life behind, save for the bulbs I thought I brought with me here, apprenticed myself to the botanists, and resolved to start anew. It's beautiful. And wouldn't you know it, the stubborn little fiends finally bloomed for me. I suppose it's only fitting that you'd show up again that very day. I have 1,000,000 regrets, but none greater than how I spoke to you. I say this not to beg for forgiveness, but to tell you how you've changed me for the better, and to thank you for the opportunity. Oh. I do have one request, if you are amenable to it. I pray you accept the flower, one of the precious few that was bloomed. A token of my heartfelt appreciation for my personal savior. Admittedly, this particular breed is perhaps best suited for funerals and farewells. But if you'd rather not keep it for yourself, perhaps there's someone else who might welcome it? Oh. Oh, Frey! Oh. Oh. Someone else indeed. There is no response. There can be no answer but this, can there? So let us wait for a time, you and I. In the cold, and in the snow, in the dark. Clever, clever, clever. Are we just playing it by ear? No matter? I wanted this once. More than anything. A chance to speak and be heard. But neither of us needs it anymore. And if we were to look deep within ourselves, we would realize that we never did. Sorry. We are all the stories we tell ourselves. The brave hero, tortured soul, the altruist, the pragmatist. They will tell you who they see, but you and you alone know who you are. For I speak only for myself. If you find comfort in my words, they are yours for the taking. But that is your choice. Now and ever after, as it has always been. Now comes your part to cloak yourself in the fiction, to breathe life into the dead, to give a voice to the voiceless. As we did together that day, and you gave us our answer. Is it ever mine? I love the Dark Knight quest so much. Welcome back, Nemu. As you can see, Biel and I are getting along swimmingly, so you needn't worry about us in the slightest. Not one bit. So, what of that mysterious unsigned letter? Did your grand search for answers lead you anywhere interesting? Closure, perhaps? That's so. Well, glad to hear it, I suppose. I'll stop calling Sid a Chocobo's ours when he stops thinking of me as a stupid little girl. Gods, you'd think after everything we've been through he'd give me a little more credit. Oh. Because I'm so bloody short. I'm due for a growth spurt, and I don't know if I'll ever be as tall as he is. See any more parallel worlds lately? I jest. Still, you can't blame a man for viewing such incredible claims with a measure of skepticism, can you? This is new. Keen to take a stroll down memory lane? I'm not sure what's prompting this, but if you insist. Frey was the second pupil of Sir Opanye took after me. In our master's words, I was the smoldering campfire, whereas Frey was the frozen lake. He had an unquenchable thirst for knowledge, in pursuit the study of conjury in addition to our dark arts. It is well that he did, for otherwise he might not have been able to sense Riel's potential and train her as a healer. Why conjury of all things? I once asked him that. Frey shrugged and smiled in the way of his, and said, "When you're coming apart at the seams, what else will make you whole again?" That was who he was to me. Who he was to you, though, well, you'd know better than me. That's very interesting. Man. You say a few words and offer a flower in memory of a memory. Now go and don't look back. It's been a long, strange journey, filled with all kinds of ups and downs. Your journey, to be sure. But like I wrote before, I'd like to pretend it was an important part of it. Vanity, aye. But how can I not think of legacy now, when we've been to the first and witnessed firsthand the lengths of which man will go to be remembered? I want to believe. I need to believe that this was not for nothing. That I changed you for the better, as you changed me. Sadurgu is waiting for you with Riel at the Forgotten Night when you return. He asks you what you found, what it was all for. And you reply, "Time to go." I don't know when we'll do this again. If we'll ever do this again. The little trick you learned doesn't count, you know. Oh, but even if this is our end, it won't change what we had. I love you more than you'll ever know. Be well. Wow. That was... I liked all that we started from the Dark Knight quests. I didn't think we would have a letter from the guy who actually, like, disrespected us and, like, he was so awful the way he did. And I'm so happy that there was some closure in that. And especially with ourselves. It's so weird because I seriously hope there's a lot more stories like this in future expansions, but I wouldn't be surprised if there isn't, Because it seems to me that this is like a good closing for the Dark Knight quest line. I love it so much. That was it. That was the level 80 Dark Knight questline after taking the tank roll questline. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!